run for a while.
Let it run. It's running. It's running. We are back. We took a week hiatus and enjoyed some beach time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ask Dad, a dad show not just for dads, but everyone that wants fatherly advice from a real dad. Whether you're here for the bad dad joke or to gain some insight, Will Snow is the man, the myth, and the legend in his own mind who knows all things. So welcome to today's episode of Ask Dad. Woo! Woo! They love you.
Oh, yeah, they love me.
They do. Well, I do, and that's all that really matters.
Well, that is true. That is true. But yeah, it was a great time getting out and away from the hustle and bustle.
Yes.
And in being in some very turquoise water.
Oh my God, it was delightful.
It was beautiful.
It was
really
so
beautiful. And I didn't even know that I needed it. See, that's the thing. We get so wound up in life that we just
day-to-day.
Yeah, we forget that, we're just brimming with static energy, and you have to, release that every once in a while. Go on a wellness vacation or something like that.
Absolutely. I agree. And did we release it?
Oh, we did. We did.
Do you have a dad joke, my love?
Well, yeah, but I guess it's fair to talk about things right? I mean, we've all kind of been, glued to the TV set and all of that. And, recently I've been really, really glued to the TV watching all this. And finally I just said, look, I can't watch this anymore. So I picked up this PBS show. Mm-hmm. It was a documentary on beavers. Man, I'll tell you, it was the best damn program I have ever seen.
All right, I'll give you that one. I wasn't expecting it.
Well, see?
Oh, okay.
There we go.
All right. Would you like my dad joke?
Would love one.
What happens? I mean, mine isn't as much of a story as it is just like straight into the joke. What happens when a microscope crashes into a telescope?
I have no idea.
He really had a puzzled face, listeners. They kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope.
Yeah, and I also get applause for that one.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
Kaleidoscope.
That was a good one. I have to make sure I cross that off the list so I don't repeat it.
Wow.
So
many things happening.
So many things.
So many things happening, dear listeners.
Yes.
And I know that all of you are being impacted by the events of the recent presidential election in the United States in various ways. And it really doesn't even matter where you're at in the world. You're going to be impacted by the decisions of that particular day. And then there's the question of what do you do with all of this energy that has been pent up and built up, and now the results are out, and now we got to deal with the aftermath of this. So,
It's been an emotional week.
Oh, very much so for everybody.
Yes,
for everybody. And it's a really interesting thing too, because I have seen some very interesting reactions from human beings as, just even in my day-to-day life, walking down the street, going over to the gym, being glared at, people, walking on the other side of the street. And that actually has happened. And I was reminded of my college days when that would happen. I'd be walking back to campus after being out and about, and it'd be late at night, and be walking down the street, and women would cross the other side of the street, and people would really look at you suspiciously because you were out alone at night, and I found it to be very disturbing to me personally, and a little bit, offensive, because I'm not doing anything. I have no ill intent.
Right.
I don't have ill intent towards most people in the world.
Right.
But no, honestly, and it was a little off-putting to me, but I realized in time that was the price I had to pay for the unearned power that I walk around in the world with. And, people, listeners, everything has a price.
Yep.
And that is the price. And so what I did not, there was no point in getting offended by it.
Right.
It was a situation that was entirely out of my control and not of my doing. But what could I do as a human being to try to make that better? And what I came up with in the day was that, we have a responsibility, all of us who are walking around with whatever unearned power we have, to elevate others, to use our power, whether it's earned or not, to elevate others.
Yeah.
That's the deal. So remember, I told you earlier on that this life, this iteration of this soul's journey, okay, wrapped in this cocoon of human matter that I'm walking around in this shared dreamscape with all these other billions of individuals and other souls' journeys. There's two things we're here to experience. We're here to elevate each other. That's where I was really the foundational piece of my philosophy that I have been pushing forward into the world for umpty years. This is what it's really all about. That's what it's for. We are now walking in a time where there is, a lot of tumult.
Yes.
And a lot of bad feelings. And I would suggest using your energy to elevate others. Focus on that. Focus on that, and never stop.
Yeah.
Never stop. Experience this life, love it. Never stop trying to elevate others. And I mean this in a real way, because what may happen in the very near future, I don't know whether it will or it will not, but what has been discussed by a lot of people is this concept of rounding up people and deporting them and that sort of thing. We've been through this as a human species before. We've seen
multiple times.
We've seen what happens in that kind of circumstance, and that's nothing to celebrate, people. That's nothing to celebrate. This is something that if you encounter it, do not be co-opted into it. Okay, do not be co-opted into this kind of thing. You need to protest. We all need to protest that sort of inhumanity. That is not elevating humanity. That is very destructive. That is very denigrating. So when you're confronted and when you encounter people, friends who are trying to co-opt you and your belief system into thinking that's okay, it is not okay.
It is not.
And you need to use your voice. You need to get out there and protest that kind of behavior. Even if you're like, well, it's not really impacting me. I can kind of duck under this. Or, well, this actually will work out for me because I'm not the one being, having my rights taken away and having my, being mistreated. It's not happening to me. So it's okay. It's not okay. And you have to stop for a second and think, what if the shoe were on the other foot?
Yeah.
How would you feel? This is called empathy. This is something that's really important in life. Empathy, listeners. How would you feel if you were in that circumstance? And don't run away from that feeling because it's a bad one. It makes you feel queasy inside. It's like, oh my God, I'm powerless. Now all of a sudden I'm powerless. Here I thought I had all this power, but now I'm powerless. What do I do? It is our shared human responsibility to elevate others with whatever power we have to stand up to that kind of brutality and that kind of inhumanity. It's not okay. It is not okay. It never will be okay. It never has been okay. And anybody who's telling you, it's just a job. Yeah, I'm getting hired to, guard a concentration camp, which is what it is. That's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Okay? And yeah, I'm just trying to make a living. Well, there are other ways to make a living. Don't be co-opted into acquiescing to any kind of inhumane treatment to other people in this world, regardless of whether or not they have legal immigration status. Yes, that's what court systems are for. That's what governments are for. That's not to this is not the way to treat human beings. We need to step back and think about it. Think about it. And put yourself in somebody else's shoes and ask yourself, how would you like to be treated now? Didn't you have a great story about your grandfather? And what was his discussion with you? The golden rule?
Oh yeah, my Zadie. Yeah, I remember we were Mom was getting us all ready to go to temple for Rosh Hashanah. And Zadie wasn't going. And I remember asking him, and he said, well, I really don't like going to services, but I do like to follow the golden rule. And I think I was 10, maybe. And I asked him, I was like, Zadie, what's the golden rule? And he said, treat others the way you want to be treated yourself. And I have tried to live my life with that in mind every day. And I will say, taking a step back to what you were talking about at the beginning and how women cross to the other side of the street.
Yeah.
I was one of those women that I would, if I had to work late because I bartended, you walk with you have mace in one hand and you have your keys between your fingers and you're constantly looking over your shoulder. And you have to make sure where you park is under a street light. And when you get home, you have to look around before you can even get out of your car because you're alone. When you get in the house, you can't turn the light on for a few minutes because you don't want anyone, if they were following you, to know where you live. Or, if somebody's at the door and you're by yourself, you have to be like, oh, honey, I'll be right there, talking as if somebody is in the house with you. I've done all those things, and it's a sad truth in this world.
But what I am saying is if we would adopt a different mentality, it wouldn't have to be.
I agree.
That is possible. Do not give up the fight. Do not fall into despair, because that's actually what oppressive human beings and oppressive systems want. They want you to despair. So take a breath, take a collective breath, listeners. Consider the fact that there is great good in the world. Find something beautiful to focus on and take the fight forward. Never, ever, ever give up.
Yes.
Okay? That's the dad sermon today. And I think it's very relevant because there are a lot of people who really and for those who are on the victorious side of this election, consider the fact that you have power that is now unearned. Unearned power that is available to you. What are you going to choose to do with that? What kind of world do you want to build? What kind of environment do you want to create for yourself? I worked with a client back in the day who was from a very wealthy family in extraordinarily wealthy family and an extraordinarily divergent country where there was a massive difference in socioeconomic difference. I mean, there were very, 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 very wealthy people and basically everybody else. And this individual who literally had everything sat there and cried to me about his growing up experiences where his mother was kidnapped. He was torn out of his mother's arm. His mother was kidnapped, held for ransom. His sister, many years later, who was 9 months pregnant, was held for ransom. And they were extraordinarily wealthy with 24/7 security and gates and fences and barbed wire and all that stuff in their little compounds. There is no, and this is from him, there is no security, there is no safety, there is none of that exists in a society that does not respect everybody, that does not create opportunity for everyone. And that is economic and physical security for everyone. For governments that don't care about the people that they're governing, there is no security in that world. There's no fence high enough. There's no barbed wire sharp enough. There are not enough guns and bullets to protect oneself. You can go build yourself a safety bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere. It's not gonna work. Okay? It doesn't work. So for those of you who are the victorious, use your power to make a more equitable and inclusive and fair society with opportunity for everyone. Insist on it. Insist on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have the power now to do that if you choose.
Yes.
And I highly recommend it, and I hope that you do.
Yeah.
So that's the lecture for today. Do we have any questions?
We actually do have one incredibly relevant question that just came in this week, as a matter of fact. And this one comes from Jacob, who lives in New York City. So he says, "Hi, Will. I am a 28-year-old artist living in one of the world's most culturally diverse metro areas."
Yeah, it is indeed.
It is. And while I love the energy and excitement of living here, I've recently been very disturbed and depressed about the anger and intolerance I've been observing every day. I have been fighting against this forever, and I'm starting to feel as if it's hopeless. I'm considering leaving the country for good and settling somewhere more enlightened, but I have built a reasonably good life here, and I don't want to leave everything behind. What should I do? So may I first just say, Jacob, the Ask Dad with Will Snow podcast is a safe place for all. Just to let you know, for our listeners out there, we are a safe place for everybody.
Yes, we are. Except for the intolerant. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're not going to be safe here. Well, actually, you will. I'm going to talk you down from that too, because basically that's when you consider it very, it's fear-based.
Yes.
This is something we've talked about. This is all the intolerance and is all fear-based decision-making. And when you make decisions out of fear, they usually don't turn out very well. In fact, they never turn out well.
They do not.
Decisions based out of fear are the antithesis to the decisions that you really ought to consider making, that are based out of love, self-love, love of others, love of this beautiful place that we live in. Okay, there's enough to go around. There's enough to share. There's no reason to be afraid that somebody's going to take everything from you. Okay, and regardless of what kind of messaging you're listening to out there in the world, that is not the case. Yeah. Now, I am a big proponent of the infinite pie scenario, not the, I don't know if I ever told you that you can think, well, there's very limited pie, and if I don't get my piece, or I don't get all the pieces, then I'm going to be lesser than, and everybody's trying to get my piece of the pie. I ascribe to the infinite pie.
Yeah. So, there's a piece for everybody.
There is plenty for everybody in this magnificent world. There is no reason to, feel fear that you won't have enough. Okay. There's plenty for everybody. So the thing is, Jacob, do I leave? And again, a great question. So thank you very much for the question.
Great question.
And the reality of it is, if you feel that the environment that you're in is depressing, I think you said that you're just depressed and sad, and and you feel like you've been fighting it forever. Well, I mean, let me tell you, Jacob, me too. Okay, me too. And, we don't give up on that fight very easily. I don't know that there is a place in the world that is free of the kind of fear-based decision-making that people do. So intolerance is everywhere. It is, it is when people succumb to fear and fear-based rhetoric that they become, enmeshed in this kind of behavior. Because, what can we control, Jacob? We can control what we think, what we say, what we do. Those are the things that we can control. Other things are just entirely out of our control. We can try to, every day, establish an environment that's more uplifting, more elevating. We could do that, okay, in any environment, in any circumstance that we live in. Now, the question is, do I relocate? Well, the answer to that is, if you feel that it is in your best self-love interest to do so, then do so. It's okay. There's a lot of different ways to do it. And there is nothing wrong with seeing more of the world and seeing the way people deal with issues in different parts of the world. But if your thought is that you're going to escape intolerance and you're going to escape a situation by leaving, you're not going to escape intolerance. That won't happen. Now, you might find yourself in a better environment that's healthier, that's more, in tune with your artistic vibe, that's more conducive to because of its, I love New York, but it's not, got the, there's certain things it's lacking in terms, I feel that it's lacking in terms of nature, healing nature. I don't see that a whole lot over. Central Park's lovely.
Central Park is beautiful, yeah.
But and it's just amazing. It's for me, it wouldn't be a city that I could live in just because the energy level is too high. It's just too much all the time. But 28 years old, you might be finding that, hey, you know what? It was great when I was younger, but I'm kind of tired of the constant, and I want to get away. What I would recommend, go for a few weeks. Go live somewhere for a few weeks.
Yeah. Just
go see what it's like for you. Is it vibing for you? There's nothing wrong. Now, you're talking about leaving everything behind. Well, that's part of the calculus, right? Can I earn a living? Can I, will I be able to talk to people that I've made friends or family that I have? Am I going to be able to communicate with them on a regular basis? Or am I going to cut ties from everything and just cut out? And it's a calculus that you're going to have to make. There's no real easy answer for this. It's going to be different for everybody. But I will say, quite frankly, that if the primary rationale for you is a fear-based, I got to leave because I'm afraid, then probably need to think that over a little bit and say, okay, what am I really afraid of? What is causing this? And start thinking about it. Take a step back, take a breath, because we've all been there. Every single one of us, including me, have been there at one point in time or another. And, if it's a right decision for you from a health standpoint, from a mental health standpoint, from an opportunity standpoint, there's nothing wrong with it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with leaving if it's not an environment that's conducive to your health. But do it out of self-love. Don't do it out of fear. So that is my response to that particular question. So
that's lovely.
Well, I hope it helps, Jacob, and I hope it helps everybody out there who might be struggling with similar thought processes. There are so many brilliant places in the world. There are so many different cultures. There are so many different ways of living. We are not locked into anything that we don't choose to put ourselves in. We're not stuck.
You are correct. We are not stuck.
It's just a matter of figuring out how you're going to do it. Okay. And then pulling the trigger when it's time, if it is time.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so go ahead. You were going to say something.
No. Go ahead.
So what can we do in this precious present moment to try to get out of that fear-based anxiety?
Well, I mean, I think the concept is just to try to find something to focus on that is beautiful and magnificent and amazing, because even in the worst situations, even in the most dire situations, every single day, there is something. There is something that you can find. And so you need to be on the lookout for that something. And sometimes it's just a beautiful conversation with somebody. Sometimes it's just a brilliant and riveting podcast like Ask Dad, that you can recommend to all your friends.
Yes.
It can be anything. I mean, it can be
feeling the sun on your face
and the grass under your feet.
Yes.
The breeze in your face. It could be, having a wonderful, delicious meal, a beautiful glass of wine, enjoying a particularly nice song. Try to center yourself. It's, when you're flooded with anxiety and cortisol and you can't connect to anything, you need to re-ground yourself. Take a breath.
Yes.
Breathing is really important.
It really
Take
is.
a very, very deep breath. Think about it. Okay. Find something. Be on the lookout for it. Because some days, I'll tell you, there were days when I could not find anything. Like, there is nothing here. And, you really have, just looking. You're really looking for anything. And whatever it was, even if it was the little tiniest thing, okay, I can hold on to that for a moment.
Yeah.
And think about that for a moment. And then take another breath and, get out of that panic,
Yeah.
which
that flight
there's
or
just
fight
a lot of
panic.
panic out there right now. And so just, also another thing that might be useful to you is to turn off the feeds for a
Yes.
little bit.
Yeah.
And watch that Beaver show, because, man, that was a damn good program.
Oh, for God's sakes. All right. On that note, hello. I guess, do you have a dad joke to get us
I do. And this is for my favorite horse rescuer, Donna.
at the Hollowell's Haven?
Hollowell's Haven. Hey, congratulations, by the way, Donna. We're very, very,
So
very
happy
proud of
and
you.
proud of
it's
you.
wonderful. So, my joke is, so why do you never see horses hiding up in trees?
This should be good. Why do you never see horses hiding in trees?
Hiding up in trees.
Why not?
Because they're so good at it.
Oh my God. I think I just snarfed, which is also for Donna, because she's my snarf sister in all things. Oh my God. I die. God. Okay. That was excellent. I loved it. I actually don't know. I've been feeling a little. So I don't know if I told you that I accidentally swallowed a bunch of synonyms the other day.
Synonyms?
Synonyms.
Yeah?
It gave me the sorest throat I've ever had. Thesaurus. Oh, for God's sakes. This is a laugh. I know. Thesaurus.
All right, I think we're gonna have to let it go at this. I just don't think there's any more we can have to say here. It was awesome. Yay!
I can't take credit for it. I saw a girl on social media do it, and I was like, I'm using that. So,
Well, yeah, and full credit to all of you who have actually, because none of these jokes are actually originals.
they are not. But should they be, we'll be sure to let you know.
Absolutely.
And thank you, everyone, on the thesaurus note and horses hiding in trees. Thank you for tuning in to Ask Dad. It is the dad show, the show of fatherly advice for all with a smattering of bad jokes. Is it a smattering at this point? The love is real and the man is real. So we'll see you next time. Until then, continue to send us your dad jokes to will@iwillaskdad.com. You can also go to our website, iwillaskdad.com, and check out Rescue Cat. We have several chapters up for you. All right.
Are they up?
5 are up, and about another 5 are going to be up this weekend. So by the time you hear this podcast, they will be up.
Okay.
All right. So we can talk about everything. Send us your jokes, your questions. We'll talk about it all. We will talk about the good. We will talk about the bad. And we will talk about the horse hiding dad.